Hey. Hello there. Well, my name is Anthony. And the first thing I want to do is say thank you very much. Thank you very much to everybody in attendance here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here, showing your support, which is very important. Thank you to all who are out there watching this video. Thank you. But put all of the love, the prayers, condolences, positive vibes, send that to Gary's family, Gary's wife, his child, please. You can send it to me too, but the focus here is where the focus should be. The focus should be on Gary's family, Gary's wife, his child, all his friends, anyone. To me, Gary was a brother. My name is Anthony. I grew up 4 houses away from Gary. Gary and I were like this, really. When we say like glue, I mean like super glue or super duper glue. I mean, we were stuck together since 2nd grade. First day of 2nd grade, I believe it was. 70s. I guess that would be 77 or so. I'm not sure, they might have been earlier. But Gary and I met on the schoolyard of a school, elementary school, 2nd grade in Huntington, New York. And we met at a very young age. I can still remember, I believe it was the first day of recess, first day on the playground. And I'd never seen Gary before. And I remember walking around looking for something to do, somebody to play with. I really didn't know all that many kids. I knew some of them. And here's this beautiful soul walks up to me. He said, hey, do you want to play Monsters? You know, do you want to play? And I was just like, yeah, that sounds like fun. And there we were. We're in recess, Gary and I, you know, playing Monsters, and you know, we were playing in the woods there. The name of the school was Beverly Hills School. I can still see Gary that day walking up to me, you know, and from 2nd grade to 12th grade. It's a long run there. 2nd grade to 12th grade. Gary and I saw each other probably every week. We probably saw each other. We saw each other pretty much every day. He lived on that same street as me, and it was very interesting because in school, I remember asking Gary, "Oh, where do you live?" And Gary would say the name of his street, and I was like, oh, "That's where I live." And I was a little kid. I was like, And then before you know it, a couple of days later, me and Gary out there playing in the street, hanging out, and if Gary wasn't home at his house, he was probably at my house. As time went by, people always knew us as like Anthony and Gary. They were always together. And that was like, that's how our, I don't like to say friendship, but I mean, that's how our relationship was. I don't like to say the word friendship because Gary was a brother to me. And the word friend doesn't really define how we felt for each other. I mean, Gary had my back so tight, so incredible. And I had his, the same that words can't explain it, really can't. And those of you who interacted, who know Gary very well, he was probably the same way with you. I mean, Gary was a strong, beautiful spirit, and you know what? He still is. So I don't like to use that word was. He still is. He's a stronger spirit now than ever was before. I'm positive of that. I'm sure Gary right now is watching us. I'm sure he's here. I'm sure he's among us, watching over us. That's how Gary always was. Gary's also a practical joker, so I wouldn't be surprised if my camera jams up or somebody walks in the background or something unusual happens. Gary and I had so many great stories together. And but Mrs. Francis, Gary's siblings, Liz, William, I'm very sorry, very sorry. The news was devastating to me, but Gary would want us all to stay incredibly strong and incredibly powerful and happy. You know, I mean, it's easier said than done. It's going to be easier said than done for you and for you all. It's tough for me too. I mean, this ripped out a piece of my heart, and there's going to be a piece of me missing. But at the same time, you know, we will get through this. And the way to get through this, in my opinion, in my personal way, is communication, is talking. And I will make a series of videos about Gary, because I don't want to go on and on here and take up all your time here. I want to make sure the attention really is on Gary's family, not on me. You can watch my videos. I'll make a series of videos because I have so many stories to tell. From second grade to 12th grade, Gary and I hung out all the time. Every birthday party of mine, Gary was there. I was at his. Holidays, Gary was always at my house. He would stop by every holiday. Every holiday. For all those years. I mean, I have video of him I have to find. Old school video from the old days. I have to find those videos. And I will to get those videos transferred to YouTube. I have pictures dating back from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Again, I just need to gather them all together. I apologize, I don't have them all here at this particular time. I already have forwarded some videos to Gary's sister, and I made a video that you guys can play there. It's a short video. And by the way, on that short video, I was looking for a song. I added a song to the video, and then, at first I was thinking about these tribute songs and everything else, and I ended up putting Rocky music to it, like the movie, like the boxing movie. Because Gary, that's how Gary would want it. Positive and upbeat. That's how he was. If you were with Gary at a birthday party, he was the birthday party. If you were Gary at a party, guess what? The party was Gary. And it wasn't in a selfish way. He just made it fun. He lit up the room for everyone. He really did. An amazing man, an amazing guy, an amazing brother to me. I mean, such a great guy. I mean, he always spoke so highly of his family. He always spoke incredibly highly of his wife, incredibly highly of his son, constantly, on every phone call I've had with him since, I've met Gary's family when I met Gary in the 70s. I knew his siblings. I watched them grow up. I met Liz, Gary's wife, I believe it was 2001. Kept in touch with Liz. Unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to meet William, Gary's son, in person, but I will keep in touch with William as well. And yeah, it's all positive. I mean, with Gary in my life, my life was amazing. And my life, if I had to go back and do it all over again, do it the same way. I am just so happy that I did spend so much time with Gary. Because we had some amazing memories. We used to go to parties together, and again, it was so much fun, so much fun. And we used to be into the same interests. Gary was always big into science fiction, and so was I. Gary was always big into comic books, toys, action figures, collectibles, monster movies. Like these big monsters and robots, and we always played that as little kids growing up. We always played those little adventurous things, and had so many great memories together. We used to get together with a group of friends in our neighborhood who I consider them all family, and Gary would consider them all family. Kevin, my neighbor Kevin, Tracy, Dean. I can name more and more names. If I left your name out, don't feel bad, because so many people love Gary. So many people were part of our little team there. Diane next door. There's so many people, and I can go on and on. Really love Gary, and still do. And everybody I spoke to, I've had so many phone calls since Gary passed, have called me, sending their condolences. I really want the condolences to really be focused on Gary's family and Gary's wife. I really do. I just wanted to really thank everybody who's here, in person, and then this video will be on YouTube. So anybody watching this video, thank you. You can comment below on this video. This is my wife's YouTube channel, so I'm on here. But again, you can contact me on Facebook. You can friend request me. If anybody wants to hear some funny stories, awesome stories about Gary, just ask me. Again, we were tight. Second grade to 12th grade. 12th grade, I moved away, and me and Gary still kept in touch though. And then we reconnected and started hanging out again only a couple of years later. And again, we're hanging out and doing the same old stuff, having fun and making the best of it. Gary and I worked together at a job. 1989, I believe. Worked at that job together for about 8 months. And you know what? Gary made that job fun. I wasn't really crazy about that job. But Gary made that 8 months incredibly fun. He made it fun to go to work, fun to go to a job that I really didn't like that much. I didn't like the bosses. I didn't like the way they treated us. But you know what? Gary made it comical. He brought this light upon the job and this energy and this amazing, beautiful feeling. And you know what? And that's how we kind of lived our life together, Gary and I. You know, and I can tell you so many stories. And Gary was a protector as well. Somebody on Facebook reached out to me, and this female mentioned that Gary's like a protector. And he was like that. He always had my back. I had his back. If somebody messed with me, they messed with Gary, and vice versa. And those people didn't get away with it. Trust me, they didn't get away with it. We always were on the winning side. We were always on the winning side, and that's not being arrogant or anything like that. Because guess what? We didn't look for trouble. That's one thing we never did. And Gary and I would go around. We would protect where we had to protect. You know, Gary loved animals as well. You know, I remember Gary. He loved my dog. He loved pets, animals, everything, all different things, and that's how we all should be. You know. Yeah. Again, this video already. I think I'm up to 11 minutes already, so I don't want to take up all of your time. But Gary was amazing, beautiful soul. To me, he was my brother, and he still is my brother. I shouldn't say was. He still is my brother. Now in spirit form. We will meet again. I'm sure of that. Sorry I couldn't be there in person. Hopefully one day I could make it back to the East Coast and make a trip out there to Pennsylvania, and we can get together. We can go over some fun stories about Gary. And yeah, he's a great brother to me. Somebody I'll miss dearly. And but again, I believe he's with us. I know that. It's not a believe, I know he is. He's still with us in spirit form. And his light just got stronger. His power just got stronger. You know, I mean, I'm sure of that. I want you to believe that. I want you to all stay positive. That's what Gary would want. Smile, laugh, tell the stories. If you want to, like I said, hear stories out of me about Gary, contact me. You can reach me through Facebook, or you can find me here on YouTube. I'm willing to talk to whoever wants to talk to me on the phone, or I'm more of a conversation guy. Gary and I always spoke on the phone. Just spoke to him 2 weeks ago, and that last conversation I had with him was about an hour long, if not longer. It was a beautiful conversation. We reminisced about our past. We reminisced how we met even. It was kind of an odd conversation because we spoke for so long and we covered almost everything that I'm talking about in this video as far as life. Talked about life. Talked about how we met. And that last conversation was almost like it was meant to happen that way. It really was. My son even got in on the conversation. We put the phone on speakerphone, and Gary talked to my son, who he did speak to in the past, but he spoke to my son. And then Gary's son happened to be home, and Gary's son talked to my son. They connected, and then my wife gets off work and just walks in the room at that particular time while I'm on the phone, and she's talking to Gary. So we all had this opportunity to talk to Gary that one last time about 12 days or 14 days before his passing. And it was a long, beautiful conversation. It was a fun conversation. A lot of laughs, reminiscing, looked at the past, the future. I mean, it was beautiful. Beautiful conversation. And yeah, so once again, thank you. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all for showing up. And again, send your love to Gary's family. Send your love to Gary's wife, his child. This is not about me. Same on Facebook. You know, I'll post some pictures. I have a lot of pictures of Gary. I'll post pictures of Gary, and I will get these pictures to Gary's family. And I have video of Gary. I have to find the videos. It's old school videos. I have to find those and get those transferred over to YouTube. That'll take me some time, but I'll get to it. All right. Thank you very much. Stay strong. Smile. Think of the good times. Thank you. Over and out.